Alright folks, Matt here from Crossfit here with our lesson 13 on managing the multiple skill levels in a class. So we've put out workout 2 here for time. We've got 20 burpees, 135 pound hang squat snatch, and then we've 20 bar muscle ups and the hang squat snatch again, and finishing off with our 20 burpees. Time limit is 10 to 15 minutes for this workout. And I picked on the bar muscle ups as the regression that we're going to work with across 3 different members here. I've got scaled member John, intermediate Dawn, and our ex Mick, and I'm going to give you a wee breakdown of how I would plan this class out for them and at the level they are at. So starting off with John, we've got our bar muscle progressions here and regressions. So the jump and pull-ups for the scaled and John is going to suit perfectly. So what we would do here is, based on his level of movement, look at bringing in small blocks, the small steps, to actually a box setup, allowing it to lower and maybe height depending on his ability to pull. But what we want to make sure about is that he's getting a strong pull from this position and not just relying on the jump to get into that position. We want to make sure that he's activating them lats, building the strength that's going to be required for bar muscle ups in the future, and making sure that the height, depth and position is right for him, that he can still get through this workout, breaking it into possibly sets of 5 or 10, but still a strong stillness for him where he's able to get that pull position and build up that lat strength that we want, so that he can eventually transition into bar muscle ups down the future. So that's what we'd be looking at doing, regressing, moving down the height and possibly moving up the height depending on his ability to pull from that jump. Looking at Dawn, intermediate. So Dawn has got jump and pull-ups down. We're going to look at that transition of her getting over the bar in that high catch position, and again allowing her to feel what it's like to be over the bar, working on tricep positions nice and strong on the drive out, and working on that turnover of the bar, pulling strong to the hip. So again, we'd be using plates or boxes and regressing or progressing the height forward on, allowing her to make sure that she can really still focus on that hollow and arch and that kip position, but then also focus on that strong turnover and getting into that bar muscle up position that we want to see her get into in the bar. Possibly again breaking it down to 5 sets of 5 or 10, but the big focus is driving to that hip and not just pulling to that pull, changing that position of the pull, and making sure she's moving to the hip more and getting a strong turnover from that box or step. Now, again, look at our ex-member Mick. So Mick has got the bar muscle ups down, he can do them, but a big thing we want to focus on is that higher catch position and making sure that Mick stays connected with his feet and to his core, making sure that hollow and arch isn't opening with the feet position and he's just relying on the upper body strength to pull himself in. Again, there could be issues might arise in the wee skill section that we could look at. Maybe a reduction from 20 to 15 bar muscle ups could be an option. We're looking for a time stillness and for him to be in here around 2.5 to 3 minutes. So he might break down the sets again into sets of 3 or 5, taking 10 to 15 seconds rest between sets, seeing if he can manage that number. But a big thing, I don't want him to lose any form or connection between his hollow and arch, and really focus on no chicken wings and a higher catch position for Mick when he gets into these bar muscle ups in the future. So yeah, a break up in sets being huge. So that's John, Dawn and Mick, and kind of regressions that we'd use to break down that bar muscle up, making sure that they're equally getting a strong stimulus and good work within this class. That's Matt, see you soon.